for slapping my bridesmaid. I mean, I don't normally condone violence, so I'll just say that right now. I, 22 female, am getting married soon, and I only have 2 rules for my bridesmaids' dresses. 1, it has to be dark green. 2, it can't look like a wedding dress. I couldn't care less about the style. I just want my bridesmaids to feel pretty. Honestly, there are very few people who don't look good in dark green. I love dark green. I thought these rules were pretty reasonable, except one of my bridesmaids thought otherwise. I invited all of my bridesmaids over for coffee and a little try-on, so I get to see their dresses. They all looked stunning in their dresses, and I was one happy gal. Until we got to my last bridesmaid. We're gonna call her Shelly. Well, Shelly came out in a big, fluffy, neon green dress. I'm talking highlighter neon green. Okay. The dress was so big, it looked like it should have been at a quinceanera. They even make like big, fluffy, neon green dresses. I guess you can make anything. Obviously, I was a little taken aback and kindly explained to her that it would be unacceptable to wear that to my wedding. Well, she scoffed and rolled her eyes at me and said my rules were stupid and the dress was fine. I don't know about that. I think you're also saving her from looking like an absolute loony. I was trying to keep calm, but on the inside, I was losing my... I then told her, Shelly, I only had 2 rules and you broke both of them. I think they are reasonable and everyone else managed with them. So why aren't you? Well, she lost it. Ooh, goody. She started screaming at me and told me she thought the color was ugly. I love a neon green moment, like little pops of it, but like an evening gown, a fluffy neon green evening gown? Let's not be throwing stones when we're living in a glass house of highlighter neon green. And she wasn't gonna look bad at a wedding. She also told me she didn't want to look the same as my other bridesmaids, blah, blah, blah. She basically wanted to stand out. I mean, the only other way of like really standing out or upstaging the bride and kind of like drawing attention is by wearing like highlighter neon green. I couldn't keep calm anymore and I told her, if you don't like the color, you don't have to be a bridesmaid. And you can kindly... because me or my bridesmaids don't want to hear you about my wedding. Neither do I, honestly. I'm over it. She stormed. I texted her the next day that if she didn't want to wear a bridesmaid's dress, she could always be a guest, and that way she could wear whatever she wanted. She agreed. Oh, okay, let me guess. You gave her an inch and she took a mile? The next day, she sent me a screenshot of a $100 wedding dress on Amazon and sent another text below it saying, this is what I'll be wearing to your wedding. This is what's going on here. She wanted to upstage you. It's not about, oh, I don't want to look bad at a wedding. I don't like a green, dark green dress. I want to look different from... No, that's not what this is about. She wanted to upstage you at your wedding. And the only way to do that was to wear a neon green dress. Even though it's like not upstaging at all. You just look dumb. Also, side note, you can get like really nice wedding dresses on Amazon. Like the fabric isn't that great, but like maybe we'll do a little video about that. For those of you who are looking for a more cost-effective option for your weddings. After staring at my phone in shock for a good 20 minutes and considering blocking her, I asked her if she would like to have coffee with me and our friends, my bridesmaids, tomorrow. She said yes. Ooh, walking into the lion's den, are we? Silent, I'm all here for this bloodbath. So the next day we are in my kitchen drinking coffee and blood and eating the muffins I made when I decide to bring it up. I explained to her it's unacceptable to wear a wedding dress to my wedding. She waved me off dismissively and said, it's not that big of a deal. The dress is fine. God, you're so picky. Just be happy. I'm coming, Abby. Immediately, my other bridesmaids rushed to my defense, explaining to her again why I don't want her wearing a wedding dress. Well, guess who threw a temper tantrum? She started screaming, saying we were all being unreasonable. Oh, interesting choice of words. Isn't it always funny how the people who throw the temper tantrums and point the fingers and say all of these things are actually doing what they're accusing other people of doing? Like, you're literally just... It's projection. It's funny how you recognize that behavior in other people, but not in yourself. She started screaming, saying we were all being unreasonable, and I quote, people wear wedding dresses to other people's weddings all the time. I mean, based on what happens on this channel and the stories I read, you're right, they do, but that doesn't mean it's socially acceptable or normal. When, Shelly, do other people wear wedding dresses to other weddings? I would say they wear white dresses more than wedding dresses specifically, but I digress. She told me the dumbest answer I've ever heard. Lesbians. Maybe she doesn't want to upstage you. Maybe she just wants to marry you herself.
The plot thickens.
I spit my coffee out and laughed for a solid 5 minutes as I put on my I'm talking to a toddler voice and said, Shelly, the only time a lesbian wears a wedding dress to a wedding is for their own wedding. Correcting her just made her madder. She started screaming again and told me the most awful thing, you and your wedding. Anyways, the only reason I was going was to see your fiance and make him pick me. I'm winding up right now. I'm just like, I've known this woman since I was in 7th grade, so this was a punch to the gut. I regarded her as a close friend, and to hear her say she was only going to my wedding for my fiance was heartbreaking. I yelled back some crude words and hurtful things, basically told her to herself. Then it turned into a screaming match. By the end of it, there was probably smoke coming off my ears. What tipped me over the edge was the insults that were thrown at my family. Then I slapped her and uninvited her from the wedding. Very dumb middle schooler thing to do, I'll admit. I don't condone violence ever in any situation. Let's refrain from physical violence as much as possible, friends. Only because I care about you and what will happen to you. I don't regret my decision, but I'm wondering if I should have handled that situation more maturely and just kept my cool. I mean, she didn't really handle that maturely or keep her cool. Am I the a-hole for slapping my bridesmaid? Yes, kind of, but it's okay because she kind of deserved it, okay?
Lonnie, slap the face!
Were you an a-hole? Kinda. It's never good to slap other people, okay? Did she kind of deserve it? Yes. Listen, sometimes you gotta be an a-hole in someone else's story. Who cares? If I am, what should I have done differently? Listen, we would all like to say that we wouldn't have done the same thing in that situation. I guess maybe you could have refrained from slapping her, but then again, things get heated. Sometimes stuff like this happens. I get it, but I'm only thinking of you, and like, if you actually physically touch her, it's a problem for you and her, obviously. Minor a-hole move for the slap, but you're really not an a-hole in this scenario. Like I said, she kind of had it coming. She's acting deranged.
Delusional.
I'm gonna say not the a-hole, including the slap. What kind of friend is that girl? I'm truly shocked. That woman is clearly on a mission to ruin your day, shamelessly. The dress logic. I can only say what Charlotte says. How is she not embarrassed? High security and enjoy your wedding. This is an interesting take. Not the a-hole, I would have done the same. She thinks that wearing a highlighter dress or a $100 wedding dress can make your fiance pick her on your wedding day. She is the queen of Delulu. Yeah, she wearing that crown for real. Other than the fact that this woman will hurt everyone's eyes with her wedding dress and blind them, I get a headache if I stare at like neon green for too long. I think there's no chance of that happening, so all good. She ain't stealing nobody's fiance, not with that attitude. It's always interesting to see judgmental people who claim to have perfect self-control saying slapping someone is always the wrong thing to do. Sometimes a person all up in your face shouting insults at you and your family deserves a slap. I mean, I gotta be honest, there's been a few people throughout my life that I think back, I wish I slapped them. There's always the worry that the slap could escalate into something else, but a lot of the time it wouldn't. It would just shut that person up and they'd be so scared of you that they'd never say another thing about it. I'm not a violent person and would always hope not to hit it out, but I can understand this context. I've never slapped anyone. That doesn't mean I haven't wished I have.
Really want to slap him, okay?
OP was obviously pushed to rage, and it sounded like the ex-bridesmaid was trying her best to get a reaction. Also, it was a slap, not a nose-breaking punch, not the a-hole. All right, my love, you are not the a-hole! Make sure you get some security at your wedding, as everybody else says in this comment section.